Hi, I'm Carrie, a stroke survivor and bind member.
And I'm Kezia, a stroke survivor and a bind member. And today is episode 8, and we are going to be talking about bind in the community, and our guest is Russel. He is a veteran and a participant in the EQUAST program. So welcome, Russel.
I am Russell, and I am a bind member since 2016.
Welcome, Russell. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Bindwaves, the official podcast of the Brain Injury Network of Dallas. I'm Brian White, Bind's Executive Director. On each episode, we'll be providing insight into the brain injury community. We'll be talking to members and professionals regarding their stories and the important role of Bind's clubhouse. We work as a team to inspire hope, community, and a sense of purpose to survivors, caregivers, and the public. Thank you for tuning into Bindwaves. Let's get on with the show.
So excited. Can you tell us a little bit more about where your brain injury came from? Or
It was a blood clot that came from, they think, my heart that went to the right side of my brain,
okay,
which caused the left side to be weakened.
okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, Russell. So how did you find out about bind?
When I was at CNS, or Center for Neuro Skills, my counselor there, Denise White, recommended that it would be a good idea for me as an aftercare to maybe join bind. So she filled out the application and I was accepted.
That's awesome.
And then Carl called me in July and said, well, we don't have any openings. And then he called me again in September and said, well, October, we're going to have a spot for you. Would you like to join? Still join? I said, well, yes. So I came to one of your activities and got to meet a lot of the people there, and I was very excited. My caregiver at that time said I didn't shut up all the way back home.
That's awesome.
I was looking very much forward to joining bind. I joined actually on my birthday of that year.
Oh, that's great. It's
Yeah.
like multiple reasons to celebrate.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So I love that you said that you met Carl, who is our first guest that we've had on the episodes. So glad to hear that. What motivated you so much to be involved with bind?
It was the family atmosphere, and everybody was so friendly and helpful.
Yeah.
Which is continuing. I still look at bind as my family.
That's amazing to hear.
It is. It's really good. And Russell, I know you work a lot in the O&A, or the Outreach and Advocacy Unit. Can you tell us a little bit about what goes on in that unit?
In O&A, we assist people from the outside. We review in the morning the emails for people that are requesting information about bind, and we make phone calls to call them and see if they're still interested. And then we also do outreach for other organizations. We'll go and speak at clinics and hospitals to get more information to those people that are looking for something to do outside of their rehab right now.
So kind of like how you got started, somewhere for you to go
Yes.
once rehab is done. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I actually was about to bring that out. Like really with what you were just telling us about Carl and how you had to wait a little bit. That's the part of the outreach and advocacy, right?
Yes.
The program and partnership, all of that. What has also bind done through that program, the outreach and advocacy, in the past and currently? What are other things that outreach and advocacy does?
We do speaking engagements, and then we also set up some activities for food drives, clothes drives. Right now we're working on a pet drive for this pet shelter to bring in needed supplies for the shelters. So we work on doing a lot of work in the community.
Yeah,
That's great.
I
I
love
actually
hearing
have
that.
stuff in the car for the pet shelter
Okay.
today. And what about this? Our unmasking, our masks. Y'all help find places to go put those so people
Right.
can learn about brain
That's
injuries
correct.
as well,
Yeah, we
right?
we help set up the display for the unmasking at the library. We've done it at the library. We've done it at a couple of centers. But I don't know all the places they've been.
Right.
They've traveled quite a lot.
Yep, it's a fun project. So
Yeah. Did you do your mask?
Do I
Have
see
you-
it now?
Did you do one?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Oh, good. I still need to do mine.
There's time.
Yeah, there is.
It'll be
time.
around forever. So, do you know much about the peer partner program? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I've been a peer partner. It's assisting new members and prospective members in getting acclimated to bind. We'll bring them in, we'll talk to them, we'll show them around, and we'll help them with their needs. We'll get them whatever we can help them with. We help them to meet everybody and to get acclimated to bind as a clubhouse.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that you guys do that. I think everyone is through their own process of healing, and whether they just got out of rehabilitation or they've been out of rehab for a while and they're barely learning about bind. With that said, if you feel comfortable answering, but how do you think you're doing within your own recovery after having the stroke?
I'm doing well. The only thing is I have physical issues I'm still dealing with.
Yeah.
But as far as overall the stroke side of it, I'm doing well other than the physical side.
You sound amazed. You sound like super excited with life and everything. So I think that's amazing. And so much help that you're doing for other brain injury survivors through the outreach and advocacy. I think that's amazing.
And I have my family. I have great support from my family.
Yeah.
They're my other anchor as well as bind.
Yes. Love to hear that.
I know it. And I've known you since the beginning, and you've definitely grown a lot since you've been here, and that's awesome.
Thank you.
But so help us. I mean, you kind of mentioned it, but when in the beginning, when you were struggling, what gave you hope to continue on, to become this positive and want to encourage others to give back to other survivors?
It was watching the other members that have had a stroke like I have and watching them progress. And you are one of those,
Thank you.
Carrie.
Thanks.
So there's several members here that all had strokes, and we all watch each other and see how much we progress, which is good for all of us because we know that we can get better.
Exactly.
We're not locked into all this. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and continuous growth.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the same, what you just said is how I feel too. Like, we just meet each other and see how we all not only can help each other, but how we continue our process, our progress, and continue to feel better.
Yeah, we all continue to help each other grow in this
Right.
wonderful new life that we have.
And they've been such a help. The members have all been such a help for me. I had a personal issue 4 years ago, and with the support of my family and my bind family, I have made it through these 4 years, and it's been awesome for me.
Wonderful to hear.
Yes, I love it. So right now we have a lot of subscribers that are listening to us, and whether they be brain injury survivors or whoever they are, what is one thing that you want to make sure to help other survivors that maybe have never heard about bind or any other brain injury survivors?
This organization is a great help for you personally and physically and emotionally, that you will greet a group of people that are in your corner. They will help you with the things that you need. They will be there for support and help, and everybody loves everybody here.
That's so true.
Yeah.
So, Russell, for the listeners that don't really understand what the clubhouse is, what does a typical day for you when you're here at the clubhouse look like? Like, when you come in, what do you do? What is it? I know you mentioned a little bit about O&A, but what does a typical day at the clubhouse look like?
Well, you sign in first, then we meet in the big meeting room, and we have a morning meeting. We have to have our morning meeting by 10 o'clock I come on Mondays, and a lot of times I actually do the morning meeting, and that's going over announcements and all the different areas that we need help in during the day. And we have outreach and advocacy, we have communications, we have wellness, and then we have reception, and we have the business unit. And so what we do at that point, after we've gone through all the tasks for each one of those groups and the kitchen group, kitchen maintenance.
Can't forget
I was
about
going to
them.
say,
I was like,
Kitchen
don't,
maintenance.
everybody loves kitchen because that's where you get to eat.
So everybody has their name tag, and we'll go around the room and we'll go, Carl, where would you like to be? And Carl says, O&A, so we put name tag in O&A, then I put my name in O&A, and then we put the people that want to work in the kitchen, we put their name up on the board. In all the other areas, everybody has something to do. You don't just sit around and play on your phone and talk all day. You actually go somewhere and you're productive in the morning till about lunchtime. And then at lunchtime we all meet, we have lunch usually in the big room, and that's when we can do our personal discussions. Then after lunch, sometimes I leave not too long after lunch. I think they do some games now. But if you haven't completed all your tasks in the group that you were in, then you go back and you try to complete all your tasks. And then in our group, right after lunch, Brian is here, and Brian will do a little fireside chat with us, go over what's going on in the organization, talk to us about our Fort Worth group, and they just gives us information on the future and what we're looking at to do. And that's usually my day, and then I get ready to go home, and my wife picks me up and we go back home.
So you're pretty smart. You leave before it's time for cleanup.
No, I do clean up before. I clean up my area before I go.
Okay, I'm just teasing you, Russell.
No. I've learned that I do clean up before I go.
Okay.
Couldn't resist, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Part of the O&A, do you participate also in like bigger events that Bind does, like the gala or any of that big events? Like I think what's coming up is the Synapse.
Synapse Labs.
Right.
Yes, I'll help with that. I'll make some phone calls with that and try to get people to come and visit during Synapse Labs. And we're looking maybe for some organizations that we can call, that we can get them involved.
Ooh. So we know what Synapse Labs is, but I know my first day here, I had no idea what the Synapse Labs is. So can you explain a little bit about what that is?
To be honest with you, I am not really totally versed in Synapse Labs.
You know what, Russell, I can help you with that.
Well, okay.
Synapse Labs it's just an opportunity that we get so that we have people come out here to the clubhouse. We shut off the whole office park and we have a fun walk around the office complex, and then we have music, we have sponsors that come out that you can talk to learn about other organizations, and just kind of a good time to gather. And of course, we encourage you to donate when you're here. You know, that's what we're all about, donations. And of course, the Synapse Labs comes from the synapses firing in the brainwaves. So, but
yes, that's one of the words that I learned a lot at Bind. I don't think I had ever really learned about synapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and I was gonna say rehabilitation, but no, it's something else. I can't think of the right word right now. But there's many words that now are just so common within my mind because we talk about it so much. Our healing through the healing process in our brain. It
is amazing that all the actual medical lingo and jargon that we learn after a stroke being here at Bind. But I think it's very good for us. It helps us grow and continue to. It helps our recovery, learning all the crazy words and whatever that may be.
Yes, of course. Is there anything else that you do at the outreach and advocacy that you want to make sure, and how much Bind does for the communities that we missed out on?
I think that pretty much covers it from our standpoint, what we do right now. We're just really kind of getting back into it from the COVID, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And we're trying to make contact with previous members and members we haven't seen in a while. We're making phone calls to try to get them back. We actually have created a letter. We did that at communications to send out to all the members to tell them that we're open again, and you're welcome to come back. And we gave them a schedule when they could come and the days that we're here, so they could come back and rejoin the group.
Well, Russell, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today to be here on our podcast and share with us and enlighten our listeners about what our outreach and advocacy program does. We're very happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be part of this.
It was really great to see you. I hadn't seen you in a while, so this is so exciting. So exciting.
Now that I've lost my hair.
You don't have to show that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed.
I wouldn't have either. But thank you, everyone, for listening to Bindwaves, Episode 8. Stay tuned and listen for more. Bindwaves 9. Episode 9 will be coming up, all about getting back to work. So thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a blessed day.
I'm Jeff. I had a brain tumor 20 years ago, and I would really like for you to buy some of these lovely cards, which are made by Bind members. And you could buy these cards by visiting the website, bind.org, or come to the shop and come to Bind and buy them that way.
Hello, I'm Alex, and I believe the biggest myth on brain injury as to when you have a broken arm or broken leg, you usually have a cast on it. But you can't really have a cast on your brain. You just keep worrying, or you try to do your best to hustle at work or really anything, but unless you tell a doctor, or it's all on you. Can't really show it.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to Bind Waves and continue to support Bind and our nonprofit mission.
We support brain injury survivors as they reconnect into the life, the community, and their workplace.
And we couldn't do that without great listeners like you. We appreciate each and every one of you. Continue watching. Until next time.
Until next time.
Hello. We hope you are enjoying our podcasts. There are many ways for you to get involved in our work and support Bind's Brain Injury Network. Make a donation now at thebind.org. Shop the Bind store on our website. Become a Bind volunteer. Contact our team today to help make a difference in the lives of brain injury survivors. Don't forget, donate, shop, volunteer, and get involved.